everyone for the opportunity for conducting this Microsoft Student Ambassador session. So today we are going to learn about serverless computing. So let's start. So what is the prerequisite? If you have Microsoft account, it's okay. If not, you can watch it. So what are we going to learn today? So we are learning about what is serverless computing and if it is right for your project or not. And next is we are going to getting hands-on on deploying Azure Functions today. So and executing that function and as well as monitoring and testing this application right in Azure portal. Okay. So let's start. Let's suppose you have a project, deep learning project or machine learning project, and you are trying to deploy that in live environment. So what can you do? You can either use virtual machine, you can use Docker container, but there is a better option for deploying deep learning models. Okay, so one is serverless computing. So why do you use? So let's understand why you use serverless computing. So serverless computing is kind of a function as a service where we are using a function or snippet of code to run in the live environment, on the internet. Okay, so it can be a microservice. So what is microservice? Let's say you have large project and you are trying to divide that project into small components, small functions. So when you are using microservices, it is interdependent. Let's say one service is failed but other services will still keep running because they are separated and containerized. Okay, so that is that is still serverless computing. So in serverless computing there is in Azure there is Azure Functions. So we are going to see that today. So let's decide, let's see if it is right for your project or not. So what is the point that we are trying to understand is we have lower cost in deploying serverless computing or serverless functions. So it is easily scalable. Let's say you are there are not a lot of customers at the same time, but requests are coming very scarce. At one point in the morning there are a lot of requests, but in the night there are no requests at all. So serverless computing is right choice. So billing is on the usage, not the time that you are deploying this serverless computing. Okay, and it is very easy to deploy because you don't have to look for lot of setup. You don't have to do lot of setup. You don't have to look for configuration files, and low cost because we are trying to deploy on longer time. So we are trying to we should use serverless computing. Okay. So why it is better than compared to let's say virtual machine. So when you are deploying virtual machine, the cost is the time you are running for. Let's say a month you are trying to run the virtual machine, and the type of the runtime of the virtual machine. It means RAM, version of RAM, and CPU storage, etc. So it will compute the cost for the whole month. But let's say we are using serverless computing, the cost is for the number of requests that are coming to this serverless computing. So the cost is much lower than the virtual machine. So that is why we should use serverless computing. And one benefit is that you don't, let's say your service, the microservice does not have any state or it does not depend on the previous interaction. It does not have to save memory. So this is one better function, serverless computing better, because when you are trying to use a deep learning model, it does not require any prerequisite or it just need input and you are getting an output. That's all. So it is stateless. So we can use serverless computing, and it is event driven. Okay. Did any one of you use Streamlit? So when you deploy the Streamlit app onto your web, when I'm trying, let's say I'm a user and I'm trying to use that app, I will click on your link and go to that web portal. So I will have to wait for some time to run the app. It says your app is good because it is a serverless application. So it takes time to load the app or a function, and then it gives the prediction whatever function is trying to achieve, and then it closes. It goes to sleep mode. So this is that's why it is saving cost than the virtual machine that you are trying to use. Okay. So let's say you are running a serverless company for a while, and let's say your business requirements are changing because some outside environment, and you are trying to switch to virtual machine. So this is possible because it does not require a lot of changes you need to make for your serverless application. Okay, so it is very easy to switch back to virtual machine as well because it's just the function, not the entire architecture. So we have understood what are the advantages of serverless computing. What are the cases you need to see where you are when not to use serverless computing. So one is complex architecture. Let's say there are a lot of components in your project, and they are interdependent on each other. Let's say one action is dependent on another, and another action is dependent on another. So this here we cannot use serverless computing. And execution time. So we have to see because when you are trying to execute the serverless function, it takes time to wake up, and when you are finished with the app, it goes to sleep. So let's say so user experience is very bad because user has to wait for some time to use the app. And execution frequency. So let's say there are evenly distributed requests coming throughout the day. So you should not use serverless computing. When you should use when there are few users coming in the day, but there are no users in the night. So that's why you should use serverless computing. And we have to see means when a user is finished with the app, it stays on for the 5 minutes, but we can edit that setting to 10 minutes. So, and execution frequency, as I said, if the business requirement change, you should also change the architecture of your project. So let's get the hands-on.
Yes.
In Azure environment. So I'll showcase how to do it on my laptop. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone will start working and only hands-on on the work.
You have set up the Azure account.
ना उभा बघ कसा तुला स्टाईल मध्ये का उभा आहे
Let's start. Yes. So
कसं यस व्हेरी सिरियस वर चालू करून पडेल
So let's start with the exercise on how to deploy a serverless computing. We'll use so how should we create this? So we are going to create a function that is we are trying to deploy on the cloud environment, and we need to have Azure logging, and then we'll create resources for computing function. So we need to first we need to get open up the Visual Studio Code.
Yes, sir.
Now I have opened on my browser, on my laptop. So I will install the extension Azure Functions. So this is the extension we have to install on your virtual visual code. So there are three.
Please
So,
install the extension.
So there are three ways to deploy serverless computing. One way is to deploy on Azure portal direct itself. Second is we can use a terminal for deploying, and third way is VS Code extension. So I will use the third extension third way because it is the simplest way. So hope you have installed this. So next is you will see this icon Azure. So first you need to log into this extension itself, signing to your with your Azure username ID, password. Then you need to log in. Just open up this Azure. After you installing, you will see this Azure icon. Open it.
All are able to open that.
Then you will see this lane.
If you get stuck, please let us know.
Now sign in. There will be the option to sign into the Azure account from here. Yes. Sign in. Yes. Okay,
Yes.
after login, you will see the option to select the subscription. So select that subscription. Has anyone done all these steps?
Which subscription?
Select anyone.
कुछ नहीं है.
यस करके ये भाई ये करके
बोलो.
ये करके
क्लिक किया तो ऊपर वो टेक्स्ट बॉक्स ओपन हुआ और वहाँ पे टाइप करने का ऑप्शन आ रहा है.
नहीं, there will be option one option below. Right click
ये देखो. फॉलोइंग
उसको ऐसा लगा है कि सिलेक्ट सब्सक्रिप्शन करने के बाद एक लिस्ट आएगा, लेकिन वो लिस्ट नहीं आ रहा है. खुद से टाइप करेगा फिर वो लिस्ट आएगा.
It's okay if you don't have a subscription. You will follow the steps. I will share with you later. You can do that. So let's start. I have my subscription here. I will open that and create the resource for serverless computing, which is the function app. So I'll create this plus button. Just follow along with me. Just see what I'm doing. I will click on the create resource button and create function app in Azure. So I'll click that first option. I'll give the name.
नहीं फिर सब्सक्रिप्शन बोल रहा हूँ बस नहीं बता.
I'll click enter and I'll select the location of the server that I'm trying to deploy. Central India. So this is the nearest one. Then I will select the version of the. So there are a lot of languages you can use for developing this serverless computing. So I'll choose Python. And then I will select the secrets. So I don't have to set up all the security right now. So I'll say select secrets, and it is creating the resources on my Azure portal. As I said, there are three ways to deploy these resources. So first is Azure portal itself. Let's say I am trying. I'll go here. I have my app open up. I will create the resources, and I will create this function app. So this is the another way to create the resource, and I'll just select the first and see. This is the same set that is trying to deploy on your VS Code and your this portal. So this is the same set, but here this is very easy to deploy. So I'll use this. Let's wait for the serverless company to deploy, to create the resources that is needed for this serverless company. I think this has created the resources. So now after creating the resources, I will see the option to create function project in the workspace. So I'll click it and I'll choose the folder. I have already created the folder Azure Serverless, and I'll select the language of the project I'm trying to create, and then select the environment. After that, as serverless computing, there are several ways to deploy a request. So first is HTTP request. When you are trying to visit a website, any link, this link will act. When you click on it, it will be activated, and the serverless computing function will be activated, and it will perform some actions that you have put in a business logic, and then it will switch off automatically to save resources and to save the cost. So I will select the first is HTTP trigger, which I will use today. There are also block trigger. Block is a storage in Azure. So when there are changes happen to the block, it will activate this serverless computing. Then Cosmos DB, which is a NoSQL solution for in Azure, NoSQL storage, and there are other options you can explore on your own time. So I'll first select HTTP request. I'll give the name, and I will use the function. Now it is creating the project for me. It is creating the files, basic files that I need for deploying the Azure serverless computing. So let's give some time. Yeah. So as you can see, it has created the files for me for a demo purpose, demo project. It is using the request, and it has created the demo function for me. So it reads the name parameter. When I give the name for this HTTP trigger, it will convert to JSON, and then when it is detecting the name, it will give the response hello, your name, the parameter you are trying to give, and it will say this HTTP function has successfully executed successfully. If not, it will give the HTTP function executed successfully, pass the name in the query string. So let's deploy this. First, we have to see what it's trying to achieve with this configuration file. So it is, let's wait. So this is the, you have to set up the name and the request you are trying to achieve, and the port and the host. You have to put in some details. So let's deploy it. So for running this on Windows, you have to install command line for Azure. So I have already installed the command line for this Windows operating system. So I will directly run this command with Control F5. So when I click on the F5 button, it will directly execute all the commands that are required for deploying this serverless computing. So I don't have to do anything. It is very simple to deploy, and we have to wait for some time. first it will deploy on your local machine. I think it has deployed. It has given the local host link, so I'll open that, and it has given the dummy response, basic response. So I'll pass on the parameter. I'll give the name Sriyash. So it has given me the response. Hello Sriyash, this is the HTTP request trigger. So this is how you can deploy on local machine. But if you want to deploy on, actually you are trying to deploy on Azure. So let's do that. So only you have to do is click on the option to deploy to Azure. So just click on this icon and it will create a, as I already create the resources, select the resource, and it is actually directly executing on Azure. So I will deploy, and it is creating resources, setting up configuration files and whatever it is needed to deploy. I will wait for some time. In the meantime, I will open my Azure portal and see whether it has created the resources online. Here it has deployed. If they are not there, you can see, go to all resources and see whether it has created the resource. As I said, app demo, I will go to this and go to HTTP trigger. As you can see, we can edit the code right here directly in Azure portal. So we can make changes, we can run and test the app right here on the Azure portal, and we can get the functions link for this online link for you can share or deploy it on your app or a service website. So this is the function is deployed in Azure Functions. So as you can see, there are these services we can deploy on Azure Functions. So we can monitor the changes, number of requests that are coming. So we can analyze the type of request, duration of requests that are coming to your Azure serverless. So we can also set the logs in your app to see what kind of errors you are getting, what kind of parameters you are passing. So that kind of this can be done in serverless. So what we have learned today is how to deploy a microservice in Azure. So you can save cost and you can manage your project with micro architecture. So this is one way. So let's check, let's do some activity. What you have learned, you have to answer, everyone has to answer the what is the question answer. So first is which of the best defines.
Otherwise, no one is going to answer. You
So-
ask a specific student.
Yes. So which of the best following define the best serverless logic? So read the options and give me the answer. First, this side. One particular person. No, 1 minute. Please answer the question so we can edit this.
with that answer.
रुकना B lock से है
Let's take the answer. Code you are trying to write that runs on server and that provides the cloud
Next question.
So second is the container that groups functions in logical unit for user management and deployment and sharing resources. First is resource group, second is function app, and third is B secured a function against the unknown HTTP caller, requiring a function specific API key. If asked with each call, which of the following fields are
CSRF token.
बस चलो
So if you want to explore this, if you want to deploy your machine learning model or deep learning model in Azure, you can go to this link, explore more and see what you found. So thank you for